Well, hello there. Welcome to Facebook, and I'm Kathy Crow for Kathy Crow's Cards. And today I'm going to use Layers of Beauty. It's so pretty. I couldn't resist. I'm a little kerflummoxed just because Facebook has changed how they do their stuff. I do see a camera flip. So I'm going to be looking off like Timbuktu because everything's off on the camera, and that's not my fault this time. So Layers of Beauty is this stamp set. It's real pretty. Yes, it's backwards because, of course, Facebook has hidden the way to not have this backwards. Okay? We will cope. When I flip the camera, because it does look like I have that ability, it should be fine. Actually, will it be? I don't know that it will be. And I forgot to get my computer going. Oh, well, this is going to be quick today. It is a beautiful day. It's warm and nice. Well, warm for winter. I bet it's 50-something out there. The sun is shining. It's beautiful. And I have some things to do today. This is not my usual day. I'm all off. And will be, because Jeff has just chosen to randomly select days to work, and it's easier for me to do this when he's not home. So anyhow, that's the way life is. So let me see if I can flip. Yeah, but then the camera is like not, so yeah, it's not working. And you know, they don't really like us doing this, apparently. They must want us to stop. You know, so sometimes you just think, you know, maybe I'm not doing this much longer anyway, because they're just making it really hard for me to do this. All right, so I'm going to get my light on here. You can see my QR code. This is my Square store. Stampin' Up! Has just decided to be difficult also. And so I do not have a link. That's partly my fault, but it's partly them. So I am not taking full responsibility for things that I don't have to. And anyway, it's going to be a good day. This is going to be a very fun project for you to see. Now, if I sit down here, I might even be able to actually see what you see. Sorta. Kinda, sorta. What's this? Oh, it's my lamp. Okay, let's turn you over here, and then maybe that'll give you a little bit more light where I want it. It still seems so dark where I kind of want light. There, that's a bit better. All right, so what you are going to do is you're going to take your white cardstock. I believe I have a scrap of some here somewhere. Oh, I don't. That's not a big enough scrap. So you'll need a piece of washi tape. And we're going to just put it right down on the board and get to work. I'm going to use my blending brushes. And that's white cardstock. And, oh yes, and Celebration is ongoing right now. If you want to spend $60 to buy something, they will let you get something for free. And then for $120, you get to get 2 new free things or one of the bundles. So I'm just going to do this in a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and save my little scraps up here. And then I'm going to tape this down. Now, when I did my card, which you will see in the newsletter this next week, because I decided not to do the Lovely as a Tree. It was such a simple stamp and simple everything, and I used background papers, and I just decided not to do it. But when I did my card, I did not tape these down. And I had to keep repositioning it every time, which just goes to show you this is super easy to do, because that it actually isn't supposed to work very well if you do that, and it did. It wasn't that hard to position it back to where it should have been, and so I think you'll really like this. It's very pretty. On a cold, wintry day, flowers are nice. Now we do have another mask as well. That's a new one. That's that I'll get to. It's a textured kind of deal. It's not flowers, but it's a textured one. All right, now this one it's layers of beauty. That's because there are layers. Now you can color you can stamp this. I've seen bunches of people have done that. You can stamp this and then do this sponging, because these are the flowers you're gonna do, I believe. Before I actually say that, I should probably double check that. I believe so. I mean, this is not the same image, because they have to do different images because people steal things so badly. Anyhow, I believe it does do that. Now, the thing is they're numbered. So I've got a 1, I've got them out of order. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 5, so there's 4 and 5. Oh, I did forget to bring green over. I brought my yellow, I brought many things over, but I did forget to bring, I need a nice dark pink and I need a green. And I think I'll just go with, I'm gonna bring 2 greens just to be on the safe side in case I need them. And Melon Mambo, we're gonna go with you, Melon Mambo. This is one of my favorite colors. I hope it's still available. I don't know if it is. When you find a good color, just stick with it. It'll probably come back. All right, so we're not done with this. It'll come back with a brand new name and slightly different hue, but it'll be close. So what you want to do is you want to start with your lightest color. This is going to be the biggest flower. There's some leaf there, but I'm not going to... yeah, I might do the leaf. We'll see. And I'm gonna just keep all the flowers the same color unless I want to do something later with those. And with this color combination, I don't know. I'll just think about it. But whatever you're like, let me show you my colors so you can kind of get an idea what I'm talking about. So I've got Melon Mambo is going to be in the center of the flower. It's the darkest. Flirty Flamingo will be right on top or under, actually, in color world. It'll look like it's under that. Mango Melody, this is a maybe. I don't know if I'll need that dark of a yellow. I've got Daffodil Delight for yellow. I did not bring out Lemon Lolly because that one, I don't want to get my... It's so light that it might kind of disappear on me. Peach Pie or Retired Grapefruit Grove. This is a color that I find goes better with Flirty Flamingo, so I do use it still quite a lot. And then we've got Pear Pizzazz is also a retired one, but it's just basically your old olive, a lighter version of it. And then Garden Green is a good standard. And I might not use Pear Pizzazz, but just in case I need it. So my lightest color, my most pale, whitest type color is my yellow. So yellow is what I'll be starting with. The next color would be my oranges and graduating to these. And then these, of course, are just for my leaf. All right, so we will see how it is going to go as we progress. Daffodil Delight, we'll start with you. And then there are notches. So if you're careful with where your notch is placed, you place your notch carefully, you can actually, in case in case this goes askew and you have to readjust things, and also so that you can actually put your notch perfectly here. Now I'm going to just line this edge and this edge. I'm going to just line it up with my card, actually. And I'm not going to worry about my notch. I'm just going to make sure this is even with this edge, and this is even with this edge. That's going to give me two directions in order to... Oh, my flower's kind of off if I do that, though. Okay, I'm going to change my plan, and I'm going to remove some of my washi tape so I can see my grid line under there. And I am going to actually use that because I want my flowers to be placed in a way so I can see it. So I'm going to use my lines on my grid here, And I'm going to put my little scrap of a washi tape on that line so I know which line I am using, because that's the line I'm going to be using. And then to make, so I have it this way, but I need it this way as well. So I'm going to use this grid line right here to place this on top of. And now my next ones, as I use them, I'll be able to just quickly line them right up. Now your notches want to stay on the same side. Don't turn them over, you know. Keep them on the side where you can see the number. And I wonder what today is going to be like out there. I have been out. I went out and did my exercise, and that was good, really good. And, oh man, I've been working like a dog in the house today because my husband has just been coughing like crazy. His dust mite allergy has just gone berserk. And like it was when we were in the Tri-Cities with tons and tons of dust and sand and wind, horrible wind. We don't have any of those things here, so that's not the cause. And so he's convinced we need to get our air ducts cleaned, and I'm convinced we don't, because this house has had that done to it twice within the last, I think, 10 years. And I've looked at them. I cleaned them stinking good when I moved in because I knew he had issues, and they had smelly pets in here, and I wanted those things, and they were not clean people either. So I needed to make sure it was very, very clean. And why do I have all this yellow on other colored? I keep my brushes according to color, and obviously I didn't. I was desperate and just grabbed one, but that was dumb. So I've got like, I don't know. So maybe this is what I used, and I bet you this is what I used with that flower, and then I just was cheating and blending. Anyway, whatever. I do have one with some hint of yellow in it here. I hate to abandon. I already have a pink one. I guess I could use this for my orange. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead with this for yellow. Once you get this all down, you're just gonna lay on your ink. I don't want it to be too terribly strong, so I'm gonna just kind of rub it here on the actual mask itself to get some of that ink off, and then we're gonna have this nice light yellow. And I got yellow already in that flower. I didn't necessarily want them yellow, but we're gonna go with the yellow, and we're gonna make them pretty dark. Okay, so if you want them pretty dark, just go for it. All right, so there we go. Now that's done. Wasn't that easy? Now we do have the little leaves, so I can do that. Now these I will wash out later, and I'm just gonna leave that on the side, but as far as I know, I'm already done with that yellow. And then for the very broad, big leaf, we want a lighter green, so I'll go ahead with this Pear Pizzazz. And I think I have a little tiny green brush. Maybe I don't. I don't use the tiny ones too much. And I did go to the craft store and buy some really little ones, which I quite like. Okay, so I think we'll just use those with my Pear Pizzazz. And then, that being done, I think I might leave that one out. We might use that again. So I'm gonna just take this tape off and put it to the side, because we'll use it with the next mask, because that one's been done. And then you don't have to worry about rushing to wash these too terribly quick. It's not gonna, this is watercolor ink, these ink pads, so you're gonna easily be able to wash that off. All right, so we'll put this to the side. One thing I think I will do before my yellow gets out, I'm going to do a couple of these butterflies. So these are little paper butterflies, very cute, that you can buy. And they are white, but you can just easily sponge them, whatever color you want. And since I've got a big glob of yellow here, I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. And this Daffodil Delight, now that it's almost rubbed out of my brush, is almost like Lemon Lolly. I mean, it's pretty light. It's kind of nice to be. You could even use these on here as a mask, couldn't you? Kinda, sorta. There's a lot of things you can do with these. These are called paper butterfly accents, and yes, they should be available. At least they were the last time I looked. And so there we go. I might do more with those later, but for now, I'm gonna just leave that. Now, there it is. So number 2, okay, this is the next color, and we've got our little, these are my 2 lining up here and lining up there for my, and you can see if you're off a bit, and I could see right there that I was. So it's easy to do. You can fix it if you're directionally challenged like I am and you make mistakes. This is actually an easy thing to fix. Okay, so now we're ready for the next color. And we've got, how many of these I've got? 1, 2, 3. That one's a leaf one. So we've really got 3 colors. So I'm checking that because I don't want to not get to this one. So we're gonna use, if we've got 3 colors, then I am going to use Peach Pie, but only a little bit. We're gonna use Peach Pie and Flirty Flamingo together. So this is how I'm going to do that. Let's use a separate brush with my orange. Oh, I was gonna use this one for orange. Okay, so we'll do that. All right, we're gonna do this one kind of on the top of the bud. Okay. And this one. So we've got some orange going there. It's Peach Pie, so it's blending in really actually quite nicely with that Daffodil Delight. Just so you can see what Grapefruit Grove looks like, we'll just do a tiny bit of that. It's just a little bit pinker. Okay, and then you can just see it's a tiny bit pinker. Make sure these shut. Every time I go to get one of these out, it seems like I find a case that I didn't shut properly. Whew, that was quite loud. And then pink for Flirty Flamingo. And we want that to be not too terribly dark. Some of it has to be a little bit more than others. That one, I'm gonna have to get that worked in there a bit more. And that one. Okay, so as you're doing this, you might think, I don't know, I don't really see a lot of variation of color going on there. Am I really gonna like this? But don't despair, just have faith. You know, faith is the substance of things not seen. It's hoped for what is. And when you know Christ, you have a faith in something that's sure. Now, my faith in this little mask is much, much weaker, but it's pretty cool, isn't it? It's nice. Okay, now we've got the last color. So again, lining up my mask with these marks, my graph marks on this board. And you can get graph paper. Stampin' Up! Sells tear off sheets. I have them. But then I had a very, very good friend buy me a glass mat, and I was sold. I even will be happy to clean the glass mat. It's so easy to clean. And I don't use those paper ones anymore. And then this Stampin' Up! One goes on top. It's the one I use for you guys. And it's not as big as my other one, but it's adequate. All right, now we'll use this dark pink for this one. Okay, now I use Flirty Flamingo on this side, so I'm going to make sure I use this side for my Melon Mambo, because I don't want any of that Flirty Flamingo happening in there. We're gonna go ahead and use this for the center of those flowers. What do you think of that? I don't know if I like it, but we'll see. Okay, now that was quite dark, and I kind of wanted it to be that dark. And we're gonna just see what that looks like. I'm not sure that I'm gonna like it, but we will find out. So we'll take that off, and that. This is fun. Keep telling yourself it is, even if you don't think it is. Oh, beautiful. Look at you. Now, if that doesn't almost look like a perfect piece, what is it? Is it perfect piece? It's piece. It's just piece rose. No. Maybe it's daffodil. No, not daffodil. That's my ink. Double Delight. It's not Double Delight, because I think the piece rose, actual old, this is like a 1950s developed rose, had this yellow with orange to this dark pink. Now that could be more of a pink than an orange in there, and it'd be closer, but I still really love that yellow edge. It's so pretty. And I cannot do watercolor for the world of anything. I've tried and it's okay. Now for my leaf. But this actually gives me the ability to make something that looks like I can watercolor when I can't. Now, of course, your flowers are not going to be why are my leaves going into my flowers? They shouldn't be. So I can see where my flowers should be. And so I'm thinking, because I didn't have my mask lined up properly. Well. This is why you measure twice and have to do projects once instead of multiple times, because I had done that. Now I am going to shift it a tiny bit just because I can see my flowers, and I do not want any leaves going into where my flowers are. And I can see where it's supposed to be. You're not quite doing what I want you to do. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. All right, sometimes these are like guidelines, I guess, rather than perfection. Don't be afraid to actually look and see what's happening. Now, I'm going to go ahead again with pizzazz, the pear pizzazz. It's just a much milder. Why is no green showing to me? Okay, this must be my green, which I've mixed with blue. All right, so there we go. Now we'll get our pear pizzazz. Oh, this is going to be so pretty. Now, if you want to have dark, fading out to lighter on your leaves, then start where the stem base is and fade up and out. And you'll like your effect a bit better. Some of my strands in my brush are actually pulling a darker ink. I'm very happy about that. That's going to look terrific. And you can, if you have the luxury of being at a table, you can move around, then you don't have to do weird contortions with your hand like I'm kind of doing right now, just to get the direction going the way I want it, with my stem being darker than there we go. Oh, this is gorgeous. Okay, so now all of those are done. So we'll take that off. Oops, I need those though. I'm not done. Got one more to go. And Oh, look at you. Every time I lift these up, it's like, I can't believe how pretty you are. You're so cute. Jeff is so funny. He hears me say things like that, and he's like, huh. Okay, now, no, he says, I think it's pretty, but I wouldn't call it cute. Cute's not in his vocabulary too much, and I'm grateful for that. Only one of us needs to know things are cute. All right, now that's perfect. So because of his dust mite allergy, oh my goodness, I vacuumed all the vents thoroughly and realizing they were very, very clean as I did it. It's like, no, there's nothing in here. There's not even dust in here. And the vents and the air thing, now I did change the filter and it did need to be changed. And I'm hoping the allergy filter I bought is the strongest that you have. I think it is, but I'll find out when I go to the hardware store today. And then I before I changed all that out, I vacuumed thoroughly. Then I vacuumed the vents, vacuumed the floor thoroughly, changed the filter, and then damp mopped all the floors. And that was a lot of work. The damp mopping is tiring. It's like, I need to lay down now for a little bit. Not used to. I'm working out every day. Now this is garden green, but that still was quite. Garden green is a blue green, and your pear pizzazz or old olive, either one, whichever one you're using, is a yellowish green. So this should show up the veins very nicely without me having to go to something super, super dark like evening evergreen, which I love, or mossy meadow, which is just another version of old olive, but just a very, very dark version of it. Okay, so you can get by with having just old olive and then just restamp and restamp if you've got a Stamparatus or one of those misty things. Okay, now we're getting the whole effect now with this final reveal, because that was the last mask. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love that. And I've seen them done where they have stamped it. And frankly, when you have a hard outline, I actually just prefer to color them myself and then put in my own shading and get it a little bit more perfect than this. But I do love the watercolor look. So I just, and because I never do it, it's a novelty to me. So I'm sticking with this. But you do want a nice, oh, you know what else I need? Before I get rid of all this tape, I don't want this on a stark white. I do want a little bit of color around the edges. Now what you can do is you can get a frame that's going to frame this and then just color up to the frame, and then it'll be white right here. But I don't like that. I don't really like that. So I'm going to use one of my little teeny tiny brushes with blue. And now let me go take my pads. I guess I don't need to take them all the way back, because I might use something for something. I'm going to actually get a very old ink pad out. You could use Bonnie Blue and it would be fine. But I have over-inked many a card. So I'm going to use, this is Soft Sky. I have no idea when it was around. I do just know that it's super old, and it's also a very light blue. So I can't get too ruinish with it. Even if I get in here a little bit with my leaves. And you see me doing this, well, it's inked up. I think I might have some Soft Sky ink. I think. I don't know. I just remember I've got two pads. When they came out with it, I thought this is one of those, I'm never getting rid of this one because it's so pale. I can use this for skies. It's called Soft Sky, so it even reminds me of what I should be using it for. It's perfect. You know, you could use a ink pad that's pretty dried out and kind of get the same effect, I know, but you can tell this is so old because this is one of our linen pads, which I still really like. Although I can't say I prefer them, but I do really like them. Okay, I'm having a little trouble now on the corner. I'm gonna have to kind of go like that. Now that's really close to that corner, isn't it? So that's telling me I am going to have to use a square die. I was hoping I could use one of my nice shaped dies around this pretty little card, but I think I'm gonna have to use a shape. I mean a rectangle. Okay, I just vacuumed and I just dropped my trash. Do you do that when you vacuum or anything that's a cleaning task? My kids used to hate it because it's like, don't you dare get anything dirty. It's clean right now. It better last at least a day. I mean, I just slaved away, so I want this house to stay clean at least for one day. No, I might not have been quite that much of a witch, but probably pretty close. I am a little bit of a neat freak, just a little bit. And actually, I'm exaggerating when I say little bit. I'm a nut. And I like it to be clean. Now, I could use my smeared bit here on my butterflies. Let's see what happens when I do this. Probably nothing. No, it's good. It's getting a little bit more yellowy there. Perfect. I'm gonna do something else there too before I clean that spot. Okay, it's a little more yellowy. Let's take some of my pink, stick that on there, and let's see what happens when I do this. Nothing. I think I'll use my brush so I can really push because I don't want to get my hands all yucky. Oh, I had it on the wrong side. Well, that didn't work out very well, did it? I guess I could just use the old brush itself. Probably be more effective. There we go. Get a little more color on that. Yes, and this one. Oh, it would help if I was doing the side that's inked. I think I wasn't. Okay, let's do that again then. All right, now we've got little pink and orangey butterflies. Paper butterflies. Paper butterflies. They're so pretty. I took I think a black marker or a gray one and colored their bodies. And let me grab my little chamois here. And wasn't that easy? So quick and easy. Let me grab this little chamois. And so we've got celebration going on. There is a join special going on right now. You can join my team. And right now I'm not doing a ton of stuff with my team. I normally would be doing a team meeting with them and a free project with them that I mail to you. But this year we are going to do something different, but I haven't even been feeling well enough to do that. They are such a great group of ladies. They have so many of their own projects. I don't think they've even missed it. But I'm going to take these and put them by my sink because I want to get those washed off. Don't want to forget that. So I will do that. And then I'm going to take my brushes and stick those over here also. I want to get those all washed off too. And now a die. So you know, your country corners will work nicely, but I actually want my stitching to show. So we're going to use this big rectangle. It's going to cut off some of it, but I want it to be a standard size card. So I'm going to just go ahead and use this one for it. Let me move some of my pads. All right. I did not emboss this, but I do think this would be really pretty embossed as well. Now you don't have to have it squared up. You can turn it, you know, to try to fit everything in a little bit more if you like. I think I'm gonna go like that to get the images that I want in there. And now, what is my predominant color? Is it Daffodil Delight? I know it's green, but I don't know. I think we'll do a green base, and then I think we'll do a yellow. I think we'll do our Daffodil Delight for this large one, okay? So let me grab a piece of Daffodil Delight, and we'll cut that out. Lemon Lolly probably would work. I think I might grab a piece of it. I have a whole lot of spare lemon lollies in my stash. Oh, it is quite nice. I think we'll use lemon lolly after all. Okay, so we'll do lemon lolly with the larger one. Now these rectangles, these large ones, I don't believe they're available anymore. We had them for many, many years. But there are other things that are probably pretty good size. I can't think of one that's as big as these, other than Country Corners. And Country Corners is nice. I don't know, I like the stitch. I like the stitching. Very nice, very, very nice. And now I can cut a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of green, and that's going to perfectly be underneath that. And then let me show you what I used for my little, I don't know if you've seen it on Pinterest or not, but for my newsletter, I used the little tag that comes in Wrapped Bouquet. Now, Wrapped Bouquet is a cute one. It has this little bouquet thing, but it also has this cute little tag. It's super cute. So I'm going to take this little tag, and I think I might even be able to use a scrap of my bluish, but there's a side piece here big enough. There is. Oops, I just messed it up. Let's see. I might have to use my yellow, because I think I just messed that up. Do I have a piece of it? I don't. I'm going to have to grab a piece of lemon lolly. I do have extra scrap pieces of it. So I'll just use this little scrap piece. And we'll do a little tag. And then I'll use, I'll have to do a little, I don't know, we'll have to think about that. I need to use very, very fine little bit of twine to put in that hole. And I do have some, I might even have some yellow ones, I'm not sure, I'll find out. Anyway, so I'm breathing really good in here. We'll see when Jeff gets home if he's breathing as well as I am. Then I haven't been having the issue. And it's just the coughing. Oh my goodness. So we went to our small group last night. They were very concerned. Anyway, we told them right away, it's an allergy. He's got bad allergies. I'm going to use the little For You. It fits in that space because that is such a small space. You know, you might have a hard time finding anything that will really fit in there. And so we'll use that little stamp for you. Uh-oh, what did I do with all of my blocks? I've been rearranging things, and oh yes, they're like right here. I forgot, I found a great spot for my blocks right here. So for these cling ones, I think we'll go ahead with our garden green. No, yeah, we'll use garden green, but I think I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz for the background. Check and make sure it's good. Very cute. And I could have stamped it a little straighter, but my head was like far away from it because I'm trying not to get my head in the way. There we go. And actually, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do Love You Bunches, and we're gonna just stamp that right on this, right here. Okay, and we'll just use garden green again. This time I wanna make sure I've inked it up adequately. Right there. Oh, you are so cute. All right. And we are done with all of the inks now. I'll put you away over on the side. And Pear Pizzazz. Pear Pizzazz. I do have some Pear Pizzazz left, not a lot. But I was looking for it last night, in fact. Thinking I don't have a whole lot of this left, but I do have some. So we will use it up. Isn't that nice? I love that. And then we're going to do a little tag. And let's see, what kind of twine do we need? I've actually got a little orange. You know, if you have any embroidery thread, your little embroidery threads are very fine, and they might make it a little easier for little teeny tiny holes like this. All right, now Saturday, it is supposed to be very cold here. I was not happy about it. I thought maybe this year we'll be lucky. And this will be the worst cold we had for the few days that we had it. It wasn't even a whole week, but it was miserable. But no, we're going to get some more cold, and it's supposed to be even colder this time around. So that first go was just to get us used to freezing to death. And then this next time, oh, I really should get my roses covered out there. They're grafts. I do have a few out there that I really intended to get them covered, and just, I didn't do it. So we'll see what roses we lose. Hopefully none. Most of them will survive. I don't like to lose them, but on the other hand, I don't know that I'm always going to be covering and uncovering. Now, isn't that cute? All right, so now all we need to do is just do the glue and the you know, the everything. I've got a card base right here, so we can stick this on here. How come that's so small? That's a very small one. I know I have a regular size one. There we go. Let's make sure it's opening this way. Okay, so we will put our glue on here. And what else is happening in Stampin' Up! World? A whole bunch of stuff is actually happening right now. There's a whole bunch of kits and things that you can order. They've got the new catalog. Now, for me, in order... Oh, that's opening like this. Do I have another one of these? Not really. do have one like this though. Maybe I'll just use this one. Oh, I forgot. Yes, this is actually a portrait card, so this will work out just fine. Okay. So this is your old olive, and that's your pear pizzazz. You see, it looks so similar, doesn't it? And so kits, lots of kits, because they're releasing a new kit. I think they're releasing one every 2 months. And then there's always paper pumpkin. And then they also, in this last catalog, and I think this is a trend, they are doing more of the ephemera packs, which give you tags and images already punched. They just have to be punched, taken out of the paper, but they are scored and cut already, so they just fall out. And that makes it really easy for people who don't want to buy any stamps. There are people who don't want to, believe it or not. And then, when you don't have a lot of sentiments to use. But some of these ephemera packs, I think there might be one that has words that are also, to be used. But for the most part, you wouldn't have any words if you're... All right, now the ribbon would have been pretty around there, but this is why I have this. I didn't really want to do the whole ribbon thing. So let's find a little piece of dimensional. Just one little tiny one will go on the back of that tag. Actually, I think a big one might. We'll just do one little one. Okay, get off of there. And I'm going to stick you right there. And then you can place your butterflies on it if you want to. I thought I had one going the other way. I thought I did, but oh well. Go like that. Now these you could cut, a backing, especially like from vellum, would conceal the plants behind. You could also just cut a piece of paper and, or your flirty flamingo or whatever. But I think it's actually quite nice just like this. It's pretty, very lacy looking. I kind of like it. But if you don't have anything to put underneath of it, I think I had it. It was supposed to be this direction. This was supposed to be this direction. But anyway. But if you don't have anything like that, you can, on my card, what I did is I took, because I wanted it to have I wanted it to look like it was, a real butterfly kind of laying on there. So I did use some vellum. But I also did two. So I didn't do this little one. I just did this one. But I did two. I sponged two the same color. And I glued one on here. Just glued it straight down. And then I took my little dimensional pieces on this one. And laid it on top. And I laid it off center just a little so you could see the other butterfly wings that were glued down onto the card right there. You could see that, and it just gave a nice kind of a 3D effect to the butterflies. So I'm not going to do that this time, but that is how I did my card, if you are wondering when you get it on Monday. Or if you see it on Pinterest right now. I mean, it is on there. But if you want to just use a vellum, we have a whole bunch of vellum. There's some pretty vellums actually that are patterned. And with the patterned ones, I believe you probably could find, where are my vellum? Oh, that's right, my vellums are down here. Let me find one. I think you could probably use a patterned one and it would be fine. Now, I've got a white one that's got a pattern on it that I don't know if I really want to use, but I think I can. And, you know, all you have to do is just kind of cut around. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to glue this right onto the back of my little butterfly. And then it also will conceal the little bit of dimensional that I'm going to need to put on there. Now on this one I did not color the little black body at all, or gray, whichever color you want to do it, but you could if you wanted to do that. Okay, so now I've got my vellum. It just kind of conceals those flowers underneath there. Okay, don't need a lot of glue. Just a little bit, and put somewhere the body is going to be. Oh, uh-oh. Take you off, you're sticking too good here. And I totally didn't have it on there correctly. Okay, that's better. All right, I don't know what I did, but it's still off a little bit, but that's okay. It's good enough. Huh, I don't know how I managed to do that, but I did. We'll snip off the little extra there. Okay, now I can use a regular dimensional because it's not going to show, I don't think. Let's see, let's test one and see. If I stick it under here, will it show? It does kind of, sort of. Better not do a whole big one then. I'll just use my little minis. And you could use glue dots or just glue it on too, would be fine. All right, we'll get one there and one here. And one down here on his little body. All right, my fingers now have glue all over them. That's making it a little bit hard for me to work. Well, I am about done. Now, isn't that cute? And easy to do. So, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope your day is as nice as ours is out there. It's really pretty. Really pretty. Oh, you're so cute. I do think the little gray body needs to be gray. I'm going to spade just a tiny bit of this vellum. This is a really good one. I've had that one piece of vellum, I think, for quite some time. Pretty funny. And when you're a paper hoarders and fabric hoarders are very similar, except for mine, I do think takes less space. I don't know, but it's probably dustier, which might be Jeff. I'm waiting for Jeff to comment. I told him he could clean his room, his little office space. That I'm not going in there and moving. He keeps stacking things, you know, and I am not moving stack after stack after stack after stack of items that in my world would be put neatly away somewhere. I'm not gonna rearrange. When we lived in a 1,000 basically square foot house, I did occasionally go in and clean his space and organize it, and I gave him little baskets of stuff so I could just move stuff around and dust, because this dust allergy has been chronic for, you know, more than 20 years, and I'm not doing that anymore. He has time to dust if he wants to, and he also has time to organize his stuff and keep it neat so that it can be taken care of. I've got embroidery thread that will not leave my thumb when I'm trying to throw it away. It's just like sticking, like the cape does to W.C. Fields. And you have to be there to see it. It's the dentist one where he golfs, and it's hilarious. Okay, so hopefully Jeff will do that. If not, it's his problem. All right, so we are all done with today's card. I hope you had a lovely time with me. I had a good time showing it to you. Layers of Beauty. And Have a good week, and then I will see you next week. Bye.